YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How are you doing this evening? Welcome to episode number 1237. That's right. Episode number 1237 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live again today from Red Morton Park. Today's topic is anxious attachment behavior and how it affects YouTube. Hey, GLM. GLM, you beat my lady here. You did that on purpose, GLM. You did that on purpose to cause issues. GLM, I can play the same game you played on your stream I was a guest on yesterday. Again, I have to say that was pretty freaking brilliant. YouTube still has not fixed the reverse mirror image issue on the front-facing camera. They still haven't fixed that. My God, it's been a year now, YouTube. Yeah, that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. I think you are going to make Miss T more so earn it now than ever before, huh? GLM, you ruined my strategy. It was real easy for me to do that. My voice. I've been streaming so much lately. I've been doing 2 streams a day, sometimes 3 pieces of content in a day. I got to take a break soon. So my voice, I can't even mock right now. I got to give my voice a rest. I mean, I may take a day off. I might even take tomorrow off. Or Saturday. I don't know. I got to figure it out. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hey, ODN, how you doing, broski? Welcome to the show. Let's get right to it. I have some notes here. We're going to talk about anxious attachment behavior. And I'll tell you, the perfect example of anxious attachment behavior is the group that has been coming at me for years. And let's just get right to it because I've got 4 pages here to go through. You're going to really understand this today, okay? So we're going to be talking about, again, the defendant's group of people. Regarding the defendant's group, he used to have this group called the Legion, right? It was some type of Legion. I won't mention that, right? He no longer calls himself the Legion, but that's what they, are formerly referred to as. Just like, remember, Prince was at one point a symbol, and then he was referred to as the artist formerly known as Prince, and then he became Prince again, and now he's in a better place. God rest his soul. This is the group formerly known as the Legion, right? So what you're seeing in the defendant's ecosystem looks less like a set of shared personalities and more like a system that rewards anxious attachment behavior. They reward anxious attachment behavior. Put a 1 in the chat. You can hear me clearly and see me clearly. In other words, the group doesn't require anxious attachment. It selects for it, amplifies it, and keeps it engaged, right? Okay? Why this kind of group attracts anxious style attachment? This is interesting. Online smear, watch party, drama ecosystems work by providing 3 things that are extremely attractive to people with anxious or insecure attachment patterns. I would have to say, from what I've seen in my opinion, the majority of the people in that group have an anxious attachment style, which is hard to remove from once they grasp onto it, right? Okay? That's why the defendant has a hard time letting go of talking about me. The same thing with Miss T and many others in their audience as well, right? That's called an anxious attachment behavior or style, right? One, constant emotional stimulation, drama, outrage, loyalty tests, crisis framing. This keeps the nervous system activated, which feels like connection to people who fear abandonment. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard everything I've said so far. I don't want to miss a thing. Number 2, instant belonging. For a group of people, in my opinion, I've called misfits, for them to conglomerate all together, it gives them a feeling of instant belonging and that they're no longer alone and that these people care for them, right? Which is the furthest thing from the truth, right? Instant belonging. You don't have to build real relationships. You join a side. The side against Eli in this case, right? For whatever reason that may be, right? That's deeply soothing to people who feel easily excluded. So when people feel easily excluded from the world in some capacity, for whatever reason, right? Typically they've caused that reason themselves because, of how, strongly these people attach to people, right? When people grasp on too tightly, it suffocates people. So you can't grasp on too tightly, but you can't be too loose either. You have to be well balanced in your attachment style, because an anxious attachment style is going to overwhelm most people and scare people away, right? And it becomes very, very draining. Very, very, very draining, right? 3, proximity to a central figure. In this case, the defendant, the main person in this group, he is the central figure. Proximity to a central figure. A lot of these people have said, I'm going to support the defendant no matter what. Blah, 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 blah. Many of them have said it, like pretty much all of them, right? This is the clear-cut reason why. Being close to the defendant or to Miss T or to the inner circle becomes a substitute for a stable attachment. So by attaching to these people, for example, Miss T attaching to the defendant, she's always saying, he's my best bud and this and that. I think you're wrong about that, ma'am. That is basically a substitute for a stable attachment. This is not a stable attachment at all. At all. Hang on here. Let me get this done right this time. I want to flip the page here without screwing things up. All right. This is why you see intense loyalty. In that group, you see intense loyalty, right? Parasocial romantic framing, such as internet girlfriend dynamics, right? Like, my girlfriend lives with me. I see her every night. I sleep next to her. I wake up next to her. I mean, parasocial romantic framing. Constant monitoring of me. Constant monitoring of me. All day, every day. And an emotional overinvestment in my reactions. That's the truth of the matter. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree so far. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree so far, if this makes sense to you, right? Those are attachment behaviors, not just fandom. These people are literally emotionally attached to me. Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever it is, right? 1 in the chat, right? Thank you, babe, for the 1, OD, and everyone else, right? About the defendant's girlfriend specifically, without diagnosing anyone, this is not a diagnosis. I repeat, my disclaimer is this is not a diagnosis. This is my opinion, right? The role you described, internet girlfriend, heavy loyalty, being emotionally central in the chat, is a classic parasocial attachment position. a classic parasocial attachment position. That role, and he's played that role with many women out here on YouTube over the years. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed one bit. You all know that. Put a one in the chat if you've been around. You've seen that for the last 6+ years with a different woman, right? That role is inherently anxious, insecure, dependent on continued attention. TS says, because its value comes from, am I still special to him today? Am I still special to the defendant today? This is coming from the internet girlfriend, right? She needs to be reassured that she's still special to him. And to a certain extent, it's normal for women to seek validation. But there is a point of where it becomes too much, right? Especially when it becomes unwanted, and then people try to detach, and then one side will not detach when the other wants to, right? That becomes pretty bad, right? That's not healthy intimacy. It is emotional labor in front of an audience. Yeah, just keep taking care of those weirdos in the chat. Keep taking care of those weirdos in the chat. About Miss T, other creators in the group, and the support cluster. What they all have in common is not the same psyche. It is the same relational pattern. Intense focus on me, inability to disengage, personalization of my content, emotional reactions to my boundaries, and identity built around being on the opposing team. Can you folks still hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you heard all that. GLM supports cluster B. Okay. Well, let me make sure I get through this bad reception area here before I continue, because I'm on page 3. I'm halfway through page 3 right now. And then once I get through all this, then we can start responding to the comments, right? Here. Are we still good? Put a 1 in the chat if we're still good and we have not lost reception here. You know, they're putting up a brand new cell tower nearby here. I don't know if it's active yet or not. I think once it's active, it'll bring in more coverage and more bandwidth. I mean, the cell coverage has always been pretty good around here, but there are just more and more people here now, more and more people on devices. So I think eventually, once that nearby cell tower is activated, all right, we are back live. We are back live. I had to go offline for a second. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Hey, Louisiana man, don't forget, I haven't forgotten about you and the lawsuits and all that, right? You want to start back up again, we can start back up with you too, right? So you took a little break for a little while, but I haven't forgotten about you and I'm not distracted. You are a part of this group, and you are part of exactly what I'm talking about here. So, hey, it's all good, right? So, those are, can you folks hear? You can hear me, right? We're good, right? Cluster B, personality disorder, says ODN. Those are all behaviors associated with attachment, insecurity, especially anxious, preoccupied, or disorganized attachment. Right. Again, not diagnosis, patterns. These are patterns of behavior. These are patterns of behavior, not a diagnosis. Right? Why this keeps converging on you, on me, right? I am emotionally articulate. I am calm under pressure. I am principled, and I am visibly bonded to Don. They see a lot of security within me that they themselves want, right? When they can't have it, the next best thing for them to try to feel better about themselves is to try to attack what I've got, right? And try to reframe it as something different than it actually is, right? That combination is extremely triggering to people with unresolved attachment wounds, right? So, again, that combination is extremely triggering to people with unresolved attachment wounds, right? And I can only guess, and I'm not trying to speculate, I'm just saying, you know, I can only imagine how many people in that group have unresolved attachment wounds, right? Also known as unresolved trauma, right? If you feel there's a lot of unresolved trauma in that group, put a 1 in the chat. I'm just curious to get your opinions, right? Last page, before it gets dark. They don't just disagree with you. Hang on. Yeah, they don't just disagree with you, they orbit you. They like surround themselves and live in my orbit, right? That's why they restream you. That's why the defendant and Miss T make a lot of content on me. Sometimes they restream me. They clip me. They talk about me and they cannot let go. They just can't let go. They just can't let go. And I know it. And it's obvious, right? Give me a second. You are the emotional reference point their system is built around. So I am the emotional reference point that their system is built around. They know this. It's almost kind of like, it's like their oxygen, right? It's like their oxygen. Without me, it's almost like they can't breathe, per se, right? Figuratively speaking, of course, right? The key takeaway, you didn't create this group dynamic, but your calm boundaries and stable partnership expose it. And that's why it keeps trying to pull you back into emotional chaos. I'm done with their emotional chaos. Now that we all know what it is very clearly, we're done with it because that's the only environment it knows how to survive in. Right? Emotional chaos can only survive in an environment similar to the defendant's group of people, along with himself, right? You are stepping out of the loop. You stepping out of that loop is exactly what makes it unravel. Me stepping out of that loop is exactly what makes it unravel. Right now, you are seeing this being brought to the forefront in real time. We've got a lot of people all over here, and I got to find a spot where it's clear. We're all good. Let's see. GLM says, and I don't need to read that. Yeah, there's not really a lot I can respond to in the chat. I mean, there's not really. People are just sharing their reactions, and I'm not saying that you folks are wrong. It's just that you're not asking me any substantial questions or talking about anything that we already know, right? Give me something substantial to talk about here. Why are you laughing, GLM? Because this is nothing substantial. It's been played out so many times, right? I'm one man that's gone up against a bunch of extremely overly anxious people that attach in a very anxious way. And it's extremely draining, right? I'm one man that has taken that entire group on by myself. Not because I want to, because I have no choice if I want to survive out here on YouTube along with the business that I'm running with a bunch of other great people like ODN, Don, Tia, Sandra, and more, GLM and more, right? This has been the most clear explanation of the dynamics of that group. It does not get any clearer than this. Correct me if I'm wrong. It does not get any clearer than this. There have been a lot of people at the park lately. More people right now in the winter than in the summer. That's weird. It's colder. It's about 58 degrees, 59 degrees right now, so I'm not wearing my gloves tonight. I've taken a night off from the gloves, right? But here's what this means. And there are a lot of people that behave this way on YouTube. There are a lot of people that have, and I've talked about this before, it's called the anxious attachment style, right? And when you attach to somebody in an anxious way, a lot of times it comes off like you're trying too hard, or if you're a man or a woman trying to get a date with a man or a woman and you come on very anxiously, you're going to scare the person away. You're going to suffocate them, right? And see, that's why a lot of people have just walked away from the defendant and his group of people, because of their anxious attachment style and how they just keep going and going and going and going and going and spinning things way out of context, right? And whether you say something right or wrong or whatever, they keep spinning it, right? It's not even about what's right or wrong in their group. It's about what can emotionally engage and outrage that group to bond them closer together, right? There are a lot of cars here, and the ambulance is trying to get by. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Holy Moses, that is freaking loud. Oh, my God. Whew. Oh, wow. You know, typically you would see the fire truck first, right? But you got paramedics. Well, I think the fire trucks are going to be coming now. Anyway. Yeah, so, I've talked about anxious attachment styles before. I want to ask you folks in the chat, what do you think about what I've said so far? And please, stop the insults. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. But let's talk about this with some substance, okay? Well, okay, I understand you folks are not happy with the way these people are behaving. But I just described what their behavior appears to be, right? What are your thoughts about this anxious attachment behavior or style? All right. Well, I guess apparently even my own audience wants to sit there and joke and insult instead of participate in a proper conversation regarding this. A conversation with substance, right? And I guess it's going to take me a while to even get through to my own people regarding talking about the situation with substance and not doing what they're doing, which is insulting people when there's nothing better to say. There's plenty to talk about this. I want to ask you folks something in the chat here. GLM, ODN, Don, Tia, Sandra, anyone else, right? Do you think insulting these people on what they're doing is the right way to handle it? Do you think that fighting insults with more insults is going to correct the issue or set the right tone? It makes sense to feel the need to be a part of a group being accepted. Right. Right. That's what it is. You've basically got a group of people that I've called misfits, right? That's the best way to put it in my opinion, right? You've got a group of misfits that I'm sure have tried to go around YouTube or in the real world and seek acceptance with certain people and certain groups. And what happens is that these people that are emotionally strong and stable and have a healthy attachment type, right? Not an anxious attachment type. They catch on to these types, these anxious types very, very quickly, and so do I. And then, it's not that we want to be mean or anything, but we just don't want to attach ourselves to someone of that type because it becomes very draining, very emotionally exhausting. It becomes more about validating the anxious person all the time than having a healthy, friendship or dating relationship or marriage or anything like that, right? So yeah, what happens is they now come out on YouTube and they find a creator like the defendant that he himself, in my opinion, has an anxious attachment type. Because whenever people try to walk away from him, whenever they've done it in the past, and you remember this, ODN and Sandra, and maybe even Tia and Don have seen this too. But I know Sandra and ODN have seen it. Whenever anyone's tried to remove themselves from the defendant, from his channel, formerly known as the Legion, right? He attacks them. Why? Because it's hard for him to let go. Why? Because he has an anxious attachment type. And that is absolutely not healthy. Not healthy at all. Right? Now, does that make these people bad people? No, it does not. That doesn't mean they're necessarily bad people. Have they done bad things? Well, who hasn't? Everyone's done things that are not good, right? But have these people, in my opinion, done more than the average amount of bad things than people that are more of a healthier attachment type? Yes, and I think it's because they are ridden by their emotions and they are ridden by underlying traumas that are unresolved, such as maybe abandonment issues or something like that, right? And so whenever anyone that attaches with these people tries to detach, in essence, then these people feel like they're being abandoned. They feel like the strong emotional bond that may have the strong emotional bond that may have once been there is no longer there anymore, right? So instead of these people being able to let people go that were once in their life, instead of letting these people go, it's hard for them to do it. They go on the attack, they attack them instead. And if it's on YouTube, in many cases, what happens is what they do to me, like what the defendant has done to me, like what Ms. T has done to me, right? Are you folks with me? Do you understand where I'm going with this? This is a pretty serious topic here. It's a very serious topic. Hey, Tia, Don, ODN. Hey, Sandra, how are you doing? Thank you for your message behind the scenes. Very kind of you. Hey, GLM girl, says Sandra Palacio. Ha 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 ha. What's so funny? Oh, what you said behind the scenes. Oh, yeah, Sandra. Sandra, let me tell you this. There's only so much we're going to say publicly, right? What I will say, Sandra, is I've known you've always been right. I just didn't know the proper way to articulate it, and because of ChatGPT and further experiences, I'm able to figure things out. We're able to figure things out and share it with everyone else to help them through similar situations, right? By the way, earlier today I filed the second amended consolidated notice of hearing for the February 6th, 2026 hearing with the defendant for his accusations of spoliation of evidence and adverse inference and trying to get sanctions on me for something I never did. I never spoiled evidence. All I did was put videos to private. I have the videos. They have not been destroyed. I don't think he really understands procedure. He's going to find out in court in 22 days. 22 days, sir. Start the clock. 22 days. Are you ready? In 22 days, we go in front of Judge Stacy, the Honorable Judge Stacy. Judge Susan Stacy. Honorable. Or HON. On for short, right? HON. On dot period is short for honorable. Sometimes you see HON period on the judge's placard, right, Sandra Palacio? Hey, Sandra Palacio, do you think, in your opinion, that the defendant will finally learn procedure when Judge Stacy teaches him? Do you think that the defendant will learn from Judge Stacy, or do you think that he'll make up some excuse? That wasn't yesterday, GLM. That was today. Oh, are you talking about there was a restream yesterday too? Or are you talking about earlier today from the studio? GLM, are you talking about earlier today from the studio? Because I knew about that. Did you say no, Sandra, that Judge Stacy is not going to be able to teach the defendant proper court procedure? He won't even learn from the judge? Wow. Jill, answer my question. If you're talking about earlier today when I was live from the studio, I already knew about that. Yep. Yeah, right, Eli. Thank you, Sandra. If you're talking about yesterday, I don't think anybody would restream me while the defendant is live on another channel, because that would basically take viewers away from him. Yes, I already knew about that. I even mentioned it on my stream. See, GLM, you pop in and out, so you miss things, or you don't go back and listen to the replay. I know you're busy, right? So I'll just answer your questions here. I already knew about that. Right? It is what it is. And then the stream was deleted afterwards. It is what it is, GLM. I'm at the point right now with Don and I, we're like, whatever. I mean, if you want to keep putting out stuff about Don, hang on a second. I've already got the right chat on my side, sir. Louisiana. I'm not going to give their chat what they want, which is to go after J or T. I don't need to go after anyone. All I do is I correct the record, sir. And you're here and you're engaged because you have an anxious attachment type as well, sir. You're no different than anyone else in that group with the same attachment or the same anxious attachment behavior or type, right? We don't want that around here, right? Yeah, we don't. Can you folks still hear me clearly and see me clearly? Put a 1 in the chat. I'm going to try to come up this way. Thank you, Tia. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Eli's setting the record straight. I've been setting the record straight for a long time. It's just I finally figured out the right way to do it. I finally figured out what's going to work, and part of what needed to be done is to sue in the circuit civil court. It would have never changed no matter what if there wasn't a lawsuit in the circuit civil court. Yeah, Louisiana, man. You need drama in your life to regulate your emotions, right, sir? Do you need constant drama of my people going against Mr. J and Miss T in order for you to regulate your emotions. Can you folks still hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me and see me. Thank you, ODN TV. Right? I tell you what, Louisiana man, because you really disappointed ODN. He thought he could trust you. I tried to tell him you can't trust any of these people. It's not even about that. All these people have an anxious attachment type or anxious attachment behavior, right? This is like not only actually this is out of their control. Like this type of behavior is out of their control. Well, if you like the back and forth, Louisiana man, then go live on your channel and you go and talk smack about them all you want. I mean, that's a simple answer I can give you, Louisiana man. No, that's Louisiana man. That's 100% Louisiana man, dude. He's also the one that's botting us here. ODN, come on, man. ODN, don't tell me I've become a better troll than you, and I'm a real YouTuber. Don't tell me a real YouTuber has become a better troll than you, sir. That I can get your laugh. I can't even do your laugh, man. Both Don and I laugh hysterically at your laugh, ODN. It's pretty comical. Maybe my... Well, too late. You retracted it, man. What is it, dude? Your good looks and charm are rubbing off on all of us? Is that what it is? Yeah, broski, I've been with way more women than that defendant guy. Well, I actually believe that. I don't know if that's something to be real proud of, but I mean, I actually do believe that. I can't voice the text, bro. This phone is terrible. Oh, it's all right, man. You know, it's all good. It's all good. It's rhetorical hyperbole, right? We're taking a page out of the defendant's book. It's rhetorical hyperbole. Hyperbole, not hyperbole. Your Honor, Honorable Judge Stacy. 22 days away. 22 days away from the first hearing in this case. When the case was filed over 4 months ago. Lord have mercy. Whew. Let me see here. I can't. Oh, yeah. Let me fix it, ODN. I don't think it's R either. Then who do you think it is? Do you think it could be Mr. J pretending to be Mr. Louisiana man? Or you think it's Miss T? I don't know. I don't know if she's even capable of trolling at that level. Maybe. I guess anyone is, right? If anyone has a massive anxious attachment style, it's her. Like Miss T anxiously attaches to people and can't let go. And gets very angry when they leave her, right? Because they get tired of that anxious attachment style, right? They get tired of her suffocating them figuratively speaking. That's what, when you're too clingy like that, you suffocate people to the point of where it's like they can't breathe, right? I got my own tools, ODN. Well, that's awesome, Sandra. That's awesome. All right. All right, we are back live. We are back live. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly, please. Thank you. Let's address what's going on in real time, Sarah. Yes, Sarah. We're going to talk about you in a cool, calm, and collected way here. Because for some reason, you think I'm talking about you, and I'm not. I have not talked about you in the longest time. I'm not referring to you in any way, shape, or form, but for some reason, you're trying to lead this group to believe that I'm talking about some things that you shared in the past. I'm not talking about you. Do you think that you're the only person on the planet that's ever had issues? Because I've had issues, Sarah. My girlfriend Donna's had issues. Sandra's had issues. Tia's had issues. Everyone has had issues. And I don't understand why you think every time I speak in general, I'm talking about you. I'm absolutely not. I think you want me to be talking about you, which is why you're saying that. That's what I'm assuming, and I could be wrong. But I want to correct the record publicly here, Sarah, that I'm not talking about you or anything to do with you, past or present. For the most part, you've stayed out of this. Now, lately, you're starting things back up. I don't know. Maybe you just want to have some fun, whatever, right? You share the restream link to BH's restream, right? You restreamed me earlier. Now you share a restream link, right? And all I'm trying to figure out, Sarah, is what have I done to you to deserve this? I've done absolutely nothing to you. I've left you alone. I don't talk about you. And maybe you're trying to help recreate the whole drama thing, whatever. I'll go this way. And this is the one and only time I'm going to address you and move on, because I'm not talking about you. I talk about other things in general. Yes, maybe I'm talking about Mr. J and Miss T, and maybe that affects you. If that's the case, then keep your talking points on that, because I don't understand what is the personal attack on me for. I don't even talk about you. I'm not talking about you. But you continue to put it out there and saying that in some secret way I'm talking about you. And I'm not. I'm absolutely not. And that's it. Now, I'm going to come over there and I'm going to see what's going on in the chat. I will address it one final time and I will move on from that, because it's just not worthy of my time. This is just nonsense. Hogwash. Be right back. All right, we are back live. We are back live. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. So, Yeah, the brutal guy is on Rumble right now, and the defendant is there, Sarah's there, and the whole group is there, right? Again, I saw what you put in the chat, Sarah, that I wouldn't be as triggered if it wasn't about you. You don't trigger me, Sarah. There's nothing to be triggered over both ways. There's nothing to be triggered over. See, this is the thing. You're trying to get my attention for whatever reason that may be, maybe to help the defendant out with his content or Miss T, whatever it is. I don't try to get your attention. I don't have any issues with you. I never talk about you. And you constantly talk about me. And now you're saying I'm triggered. So whatever I'm saying in general is automatically depicted as talking about you? That doesn't make any sense at all. It does not make any sense at all. And that's okay. Yeah, no. The reason why the defendant is triggered is because he put himself in this position, right? He put himself in this position, right? Even Sarah knows it. Even Sarah knows the position that the defendant put himself into. She's the one that originally made me aware of it back in the days. Now she's on the opposite team. And hey, that's her choice, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. I will go there even while I'm live out here. I will screen record for a minute or two, and I'm just preserving more acting in concert. And it's more so proving that that entire group has an anxious attachment style. They can't let go of things. Like, why don't you folks go talk about your anxious attachment style, right? Look, it goes from the defendant, it goes to Miss T, then it goes to Sarah, now it goes to Bill, right? Look at all this. Do you folks think this is healthy, right? And it doesn't matter. You're going to do the restreams until I'm able to stop them legally in court, and trust me, that's going to happen at some point. In the meantime, I can't control what you do. What I can't control is what comes out of my mouth, how I handle my things, and how I'm going to outgrow all of you on my own. Right? And show the world how bizarre this behavior is. It's bizarre. It's bizarre, very clingy, very anxious, attaching style behavior. It's bizarre. Right? Like, when I put all this in front of Judge Stacy and paint the picture very clearly, she's going to be like, well, this isn't like anything I've ever seen. Same here, Your Honor, Honorable Judge Stacy. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, there are a lot of people that used to be a part of my group, my channels over here. And a lot of those people are upset that they got removed, or that I no longer associate with them. And no, I'm not just talking about you, Sarah. You're one of them, but you're not the only one. There's like 100 others. So this is not a stab at you or a stab at anyone. This is about addressing what's actually going on, right? So a lot of you are upset because you got removed, right? And because of the way you attach to things and can't let go, you can't just be removed and say, screw it, he doesn't want me there, I'll just go do something else. That's what most normal people would do. You folks go run off to another group and start trashing people for removing you for behaving, so let's put it this way, for behaving improperly in our chat. We're not a drama place here, right? We remove you for behaving improperly, according to what we want here within our rules. You didn't play by our rules, so we removed you. And then you go to someone else and overreact and attack people like me and further prove why we removed you in the first place, right? But you want to know what's weird? You want to know what fuels people with an anxious attachment style or anxious attachment behavior? Is exactly what I'm doing right now. Me calling them out on this is exactly what calms them down. It's exactly what entertains them and makes them feel regulated, right? But what choice do I have? Do I just keep letting people yep, right? Do I just let them keep talking? I can. If I ignore it and then other people that are new on YouTube find out about me or our channels here through them, if I don't address it, then they're going to think that what they're saying about me is true when most of it is not. Right? I understand you all have loyalty to the defendant because he's the one that keeps you all together in this group. He's the one that keeps you all regulated, right? So you have loyalty to him, and you feel that if somebody tries to defend themselves against him like I do, you got to go all protect him by attacking someone like me, right? That's just bizarre, right? How about tell your friend, all of you, because all of you are supposedly his friend. How about tell your friend to start behaving more reasonably and he wouldn't be dealing with these things in the first place, right? I'll be right back. Let me see what's going on in their chat. Give me one more second. I'll be right back. All right, we are back live. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Thank you, ODN. Sarah, I'm going to address you one last time as respectfully as possible. I understand you want to help the defendant. I understand you're having fun. You love the drama. Your channel is called a drama channel, right? Okay. I understand you're going to say things to get reactions, whether you get a reaction or not, or whether it's true or not, right? I understand that you'd like to think that I titled my stream the way I did because of you, and that's not the case. It's a general topic because the majority of the people in the group that you're a part of are what the topic is, okay? Now, if you yourself, Sarah, can relate to the topic based on your own personal experiences, that doesn't mean I'm excluding you and pointing out that this is you. I never said that. Don't try to put words in my mouth, Sarah. That's not the way it works, right? It's almost like you're trying to include yourself in that, and this is a general topic. And my topics are not specifically catered to even your group. They may involve your group at times. Your group may be the best example. But this is a general topic here, using the defendant's group as an example, because you folks are the perfect example, in my opinion, as a group, right? I don't know why you continue to try to get me to say that I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about you, and I'm not going to be talking about you, and I have no issues with you or anyone else. I have civil issues with the defendant and copyright issues. I don't even hate him or anyone else. I don't hate anyone from your side. And that's that. I feel that I'm being violated. It's affecting me from functioning out here. That's why we're in court. Besides that, I have no hatred for anyone. Yeah, if the shoe fits, wear it. I mean, yeah. Like Sandra, she really thinks I'm talking about her specifically. And I'm absolutely not talking about her. It's either that or she wants me to be talking about her specifically. And I talk about things in general. And yes, there are a few people I will pinpoint every now and then, like the defendant, because I'm suing him. And then Miss T, because she's making lots of content, lots of defamatory and copyright violating content on me. At least she was. So I focus on that. Anyway, and to the lady, the witchy lady, right? Witchy, let me tell you something. You're talking a lot of smack, and you're calling me the C-U-C-K word. I mean, you want to be a part of this case too? You've been on panel with the defendant. I mean, do you want to be a part of this? Are you not taking this seriously? Right? Do you think this is normal, Witchy? What you folks are doing with these watch parties with a bunch of people that are anxiously attached to each other? You see, Witchy, you're anxiously attached to what's going on here, right? You are anxiously attached to it. That is your attachment style. That is the attachment style of most people in that group, right? And that's why you all bond together over one man that just wants to run his stuff, right? And because you all won't stop, that's why your leader, your Messiah, is in court with me. And he's going to be in copyright court with me as well, right? When I go to court, all I'm going to tell at the beginning, I'll have a prepared statement. I'm going to stay on point, quick to the point. I'm going to let Judge Stacy know this smear campaign, Your Honor, is constant and ongoing, and it's basically a network of channels that are led by him. Even when he's not running the rebroadcast smear campaigns on me, he's in the chat amplifying the people. That's why I'm taking the screenshots, sir. I mean, you folks just don't get it. You think you're helping the defendant out, right? You don't get it. You don't even realize how much you're hurting him. I don't even think he realizes how much he's hurting himself. Put a 1 in the chat if you think the defendant is hurting himself by going and supporting these restreams and talking mad trash in the chat with known people in this community that have been restreaming me for a while, commercially exploiting me, defaming my character, right? Give me a frickin' break, Witchy. You know, you all want to talk all this smack in the world. You'll see what happens in court, right? You'll see. That's it. End the story. Keep doing what you're doing. You folks keep giving me acting in concert evidence. You keep giving me more evidence. Defendant, you keep giving me evidence. Right? And I'm just waiting to file one big omnibus. I'm not going to file every single day. I'll put it all together in one big filing. I'm not going to overwhelm the docket like you do, sir. And where have you been all day, sir? You've been sitting back watching your affiliates run the show for you because the stove's too hot? You don't think I understand your methods of mitigating liability? Give me a break, man. Give me a break. Give me a break. You'll be held accountable at some point, sir. Right? You'll be held accountable. Now give me one more second. I'm going to check one more time over there. See how triggered they are, and then I'll be right back to wrap it up. Babe, start getting your quote in. All right. We are back live. We are back live. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly, please. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me clearly. My lady already put her quote in. I'll get to that in a second. Thank you, Tia. Hey, Billy boy, listen up. You're talking about all the people you have in your chat. That is the defendant's audience, not yours. You would be lucky to have 5 or 10 people if you talked about anything besides me and didn't have the support of the mob attack that entire group's been doing to me. So you want to sit there and try to say that, I don't have as many people as you do. You don't know how many people I have because I'm being botted right now. I may have more. I could have more than you. We'll see on the replay who has more views. But I don't even care about that. It doesn't matter. The truth of the matter is, Bill, is that you have nothing without the defendant, and both of you have nothing without me. And I'm just going to come out and say it straight because you all know that. It's the truth of the matter. Right? It's pathetic. You folks are showing your cards in real time. And to the person that threatened me in your chat regarding sue you and you're going to destroy me in court, how about you sue me? My name is Elias Dimitri Melas. You know my address. How about you sue me? If you want some action with me, sue me. And if you don't do it, then you're a bunch of hot air on YouTube. You're a bunch of hot air, an anonymous piece of hot air. That's all. That's all most of you are. You're hot air, right? And you're all trying to self-regulate amongst each other. And you're deeply scarred and deeply rooted insecurities. You're all anxiously attached to each other at the hip. It's just absolutely just asinine to me. It's like I have never seen a group of people bond in the weird way that you all bond. Wow. None of you know how to make informative content. That's what you meant, make, right. None of them do. They're incapable, Tia. Right? They're incapable, right? Let me read Don's. Quote, growth begins the moment you stop defending your mistakes and start taking responsibility for them. One more time. Growth begins the moment you stop defending your mistakes and start taking responsibility for them. Yes, you're absolutely right, babe. And that's the biggest problem these people have, is that they deflect responsibility and then they try to project onto us and say that we're the ones deflecting responsibility. It's a part of their defense mechanism, right? One more thing before I go. Unless I mention someone specifically in my title or on stream or in a video, I'm talking in general. That is how I've always been, and that is how I will always be. And anything otherwise is just noise. Okay? If I have something to say about someone and I want to mention them by name, I will do that. I don't feel the need to do that about every single person in this group. I address the key players. I address the things that need to be addressed, and then the rest is just noise. That's all. The rest is just noise. That doesn't mean that I hate anyone. That doesn't mean that I'm attacking anyone. I'm just correcting the record. That's all I've been doing. So I'm going to get going, spend some time with my lady. Tomorrow's another day. Let's see what they do tomorrow. Keep giving me more evidence. Keep giving me more evidence. I hope you're ready in 22 days, Mr. Defendant. 22 days before we go in front of the Honorable Judge Susan Stacy. All right? I hope you're ready, sir, because I am. Whether you have an attorney or not, I don't need one. I'm ready whether you have an attorney or not, sir. Everything I do speaks for itself. I've filed pretty much everything that needs to be filed besides the videos. I'll get those filed. And that'll be that. With that being said, one more time, Don's quote. Growth begins the moment you stop defending your mistakes and start taking responsibility for them. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone. 37 people here when the botting stopped.